All right. Can you see me, sir?
I can see you. I can hear you.
That's a good start. I see and hear you. Let's jump in, shall we?
I'm ready.
Welcome to Just Curious Media. This is Let's Talk Cobra Kai. I'm Jason Connell.
And I'm Sal Rodriguez.
All right, Wesley, I heard you cut out there for a second. From the
Oh
top.
my
From the
God.
top. Welcome to Just Curious Media. This is Let's Talk Cobra Kai. I'm Jason Connell.
And I'm Sal Rodriguez.
All right, Sal, we are back for another special episode. I might add.
Yeah, I know they're all special, but this one is very special. You know why?
It
Because
is.
this movie, the next Karate Kid breakdown,
Hey, slow down.
I feel like we delayed on this one.
Yes, we
Didn't
did.
we?
We did.
Like
It
a
took
long
a
time.
while. Well, it's the weakest of anything Karate Kid movie style, movie related. And it wasn't on our radar, but it is true. We are discussing, revisiting, re-releasing the next Karate Kid 1994 scene by scene breakdown. Why are we doing this? Well, if you're listening to this, hopefully you've seen the other three. The original trilogy got re-releases as well. So, hey, you got to throw this guy in for good measure. We're
Yeah.
going back, dusting them off, not touching them. That's what we're not doing, not redoing them, but we're putting, a beginning on there, catching up to reflecting where we were at the time, and then also putting these in order for our fan, in order, boom, 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 boom. They'll be in order in April. So if you wanted to go back and do a deep dive, scene by scene breakdown and enjoy them, you can find them more easily, Sal. I mean, people re-release episodes. I've never done it, but this was I've never done it in this fashion. I've definitely taken something that was on Let's Talk Movies and repurposed it for Let's Talk Cobra Kai if it's relevant. And we also put something new on the beginning to make it, to kind of connect the dots. But this was brand new, but I've been wanting to do it for a while because you can't change the sortability of podcast. When it's out there, boom, on that episode, it's episode 22, and so on and so forth. So I figured, hey, this is a chance to put them in order. And who knows? I hope people enjoy it, enjoy this intro, and we can kind of share some tidbits where we were when we did this one.
I think the length of all of these of could be like a great road trip.
Yeah.
Great road trip listening.
Totally.
Each one, each movie.
I like it. Well, in LA, just driving somewhere, you
Just driving 10 miles. That's all you need.
Hey, I loved all your episodes. Oh, wow. Well, this was, and let me just bring up the poster here. I have it right next to me.
You happen to have it.
Oh, yeah. You see
Very
one
nice.
Pet Morita.
She's on there twice.
With Hilary Swank 2 times. This was episode 115. So for us, for Let's Talk Cobra Kai, not 1 and not 22 or 28. No, 100. That's what the other ones were, but 115. And we recorded this one, Sal, August 2nd, 2022. And the significance of this was also the fact that, please.
You were somewhere else again, right? Wait, I was somewhere else again.
No, we were in person.
No, that's what I mean. I wasn't in my studio. You weren't in your studio. And you and I were in the same studio.
For the first time since episode 10 of season 2 of Cobra Kai.
Oh my God. That's how long.
So that's the significance. We were in studio together.
We were in the same room. But unfortunately, if you listen, it sounds the same, right? To the listener.
It doesn't matter. We were at
But no, it's very significant. Very significant.
We were at Orange Dog Studios. Great friend, Wes Hambright.
Shout out.
So much fun. He let us come in and take over the studio for a few hours because it takes a while. Yeah. And we released it August 31st, 2022. I actually went back home to Massachusetts at the time and put it together and came out then. Now, the running time that day, edited running time, this isn't just raw time, but the edited time, 1 hour, 48 minutes. The movie, the next Karate Kid movie, 1 hour, 47 minutes.
What?
We almost nailed that.
How did that even happen?
I do not know. We weren't doing a director's commentary. Just it happened that way. So it was a lot of fun.
And hang on, Jason. what was the gap between Karate Kid 3 and the next Karate Kid for us?
You mean the movies, not our
Yeah.
uh
No, our
well,
commentary. Our commentary.
oh, the commentary. Well, I was saying like they're miles apart.
Yeah,
This
like
is
a year and a
episode.
half, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. This is
What's
episode.
wrong with us?
Oh,
Why did we wait so long for this one?
well, just to answer your question in episode numbers, it was episode 28 was the
Yes.
Karate Kid part 3, and this is episode 115. Well, what
Yeah.
happened was, Sal, after we did the Karate Kid part 3, we're going into season 3 of Cobra Kai when Netflix took it over. And then
Okay.
we were doing special episodes every freaking week for so
Yes.
long. And then season 4 came, and then season 5 came, and we had little gaps because let's not forget, episode 3 comes out. Sorry, season 3 comes out. Since that point in time, or the third Karate Kid, I moved 2 times to Massachusetts, to Rhode Island. That's a lot of logistics. So we had gaps, and it was like, well, we're going to make time for the next Karate Kid. Now, to be clear, we did the next Karate Kid before I moved to Rhode Island, but it wasn't high on my radar because, let's be honest, let's call it
Oh.
what it is. It's the stepchild to the Karate Kid franchise. It does
But
have
hang
Pat
on,
Morita.
Jason.
It does have
Jason,
Mr. Pat Morita. Sorry.
that's what I'm saying. The only reason is because Machio's not in it. If Machio were in
Well,
it,
it's not the only reason. The writing, the absurdity of the movie. Now Hilary Swank is fine, but it has a lot of issues, to say the very least. So I wasn't in a hurry to go back. In fact, even when I put it on, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this movie. There are parts that are just hard to get through. There's a lot to love. And I'm more connected, just to be clear, with this movie now, having gone to Julie Pierce's house. Not inside, but
yes,
I went by because it's in Massachusetts before I
that's right.
moved.
We had a special episode where you were outside of Julie Pierce's house.
And I also have been to where the monks were.
Wow, yes.
Remember that?
This movie is close to your heart at this point.
It's Castle Hill on the Crane Estate, and also in Massachusetts, Ipswich,
Wow.
actually. Went there one day, didn't know at the time that it was the backdrop. So I was walking around these grounds going, this is really magical. And then I put the movie on because we were starting to explore the trailer, and we were getting ready to do the episode. And I was
Oh,
getting
the
ready to go to
trailer,
Julie's
yeah.
house. And I'm like, wait a second. It was out of body. So I finally, and then what am I thinking? We met Sensei Jim True, Sensei
Mm,
Chris Jensen. They
wow.
were
Yeah.
in the movie. I met, Sensei Jim, his dojo house, help find the students that are in some of those scenes, the bull pit, the bullpen scene. What do you call that? Out in front of the school where, Michael Ironside's, challenging kids. There's a
Yes,
lot
yes.
of the students from the dojo. So yeah, I am more connected to this movie than I ever was, but it doesn't help the issues, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think that's apparent. Yeah, you say a lot happened, sure. Episode 20 something to episode 115 something. Yes, a lot happened between there, but I still feel like that does signify there was a lot of some reluctance and apprehension and just overall delay and procrastination on
Hmm.
this on the heart of on the part of Let's Talk Cobra Kai.
That's true. Well, I don't like to procrastinate, but I just wasn't feeling it. But when I got in the mode, you can't fake it in this business. You got to
Yeah,
have passion and true,
that's true.
a
That's true.
connection to something to be able to
Yes.
bring an energy and an enthusiasm to listeners and viewers. And so that said, it grew on me.
Yeah.
It wasn't by accident that I meet Sensei Jim True, who runs True Martial Arts Academy, and was connected to the movie. It wasn't by
Wow.
accident
Yeah.
I wound up at Crane, Hills, Castle Hill and the Crane Estates, and was
Mhm.
like, wait a second. And I was only 20 minutes away from Julie Pierce's house. That really invigorated me to
Mhm.
do it. And I am proud of that movie for what it is. And you and I and many others are hopeful that either of these Julie Pierces is going to come and join us in the Cobra Kai universe.
They
That's
have to,
one
Jason.
thing.
They
Before the
have to
show
wrap it
goes
up
off
that
the air.
way.
Exactly. They have to. They have to.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't bring back Julie Pierce, I would think that they're leaving it too open ended, or not completing. They're not completing the job. They've brought everybody
Yeah.
back for crying out loud.
Yeah. And we're brushing over this, but I know you and I feel the same way. This is the last time in a movie that Pat Morita plays Mr. Miyagi.
That is what I savored when I watched this movie. Yeah, I had some eye rolls, yes, but I savored watching Pat Morita's final performance. I really did.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And he's great at it. There's no doubt. He's amazing as usual. And I almost wish there was just the next Karate Kid Part 2, the next Karate Kid Part 3. As painful as it is to say and even envision, if we had it, there'd just be a bit more, right? Now,
Well, you know what else we may have, Jason? If Julie
please.
Pierce does indeed come onto Cobra Kai
Figures.
season 6, some figures, Julie Pierce action figures. That'll be cool.
Well, if and when you listen to the scene by scene breakdown re-release, you're going to hear a mistake. I admit my mistakes. Okay.
You do. You do.
And this is not as big as the 7 Seas, South Seas. Who's keeping track? It's the South Seas, but I went through a spell where I thought it was 7 Seas, despite going there years and years ago. But in the movie, the antagonist is known as Alpha Elite.
Yeah.
I heard it differently when I revisited this movie for notes, and I call it Alpha League throughout the episode. Now,
Alpha League.
You even went with it because we were doing it in person.
I think I went along with it. Well, because you know why? Because I started the question. No, I started the question. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Maybe it is Alpha League.
Yeah, I think I even squashed you saying Elite at one point. No, of course it's Alpha League because it's cooler. I have a tendency to I would have called it such. Anyway, so you're gonna hear that. We know it's Alpha Elite, or at least I do now. Yeah. So enjoy that. And I don't need a ton of messages telling me I got it wrong because I'm here to tell you I know. Anyway, so now here is the synopsis I have for this episode that is, they're online already, episode 115, but this re-release might have a different synopsis. But here's what I put. Jason Connell and Sal Rodriguez break down the not so classic movie and talk about visiting the monk monastery, Mr. Miyagi waxing on, waxing off, and the catch and release strategy. Hey, that's pretty enticing. I kind of want to hear this scene by scene breakdown.
Wait, catch and release on fish or insects?
Or whatever. So
anything.
In the movie, there is the whole, they don't kill the insect, and then Julie squashes one and upsets the monks.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Yes,
but you had always told me you have a catch and release strategy. And then I had said to you at one point in time on one of these shows, it may have been this one, does that apply to women? I know it's bad taste. I'm thinking of a younger Sal when he was single. And
there was a time.
And it was a joke. So I kind of worked.
Do you remember the time when we fell in love?
Yes. And I like that's the only time I've ever put not so classic movie. Because I got to be honest here. If I'm talking about the Karate Kid Part 2, they get the classic movie moniker, especially the original. Come on. And as far as Mr. Miyagi waxing on, waxing off, he is doing that in the movie. And Julie wants no part of it. So I thought that was a nice homage to the original. And yeah, anyway. So, I did visit the monk monastery, as I just pointed out. Sorry.
There's one more thing, Jason. I just realized this, and that is that I do want to give the next Karate Kid their respect is due because they were kind of ahead of their time in having a female lead alongside Pat Morita. I mean, if you look at later on, Ghostbusters had the all-female cast. A lot of times they'll remake movie.
You're right.
With the look, we were just talking about The Thing, and in 2011's Thing, instead of Kurt Russell, we have a female who did a great job. So it's I feel like the next Karate Kid was kind of ahead of the curve a bit.
You know what? I'll give you that. Absolutely. And there are some scenes in the movie that just wouldn't fly today. Like Alpha Elite, not League. Ned is insinuating all these things, coming on to her, being
But doesn't that make him more creepy? Wasn't that the part of the deal, right?
Yeah, but
makes him more slimy.
more slimy, but it really was a bit rough to go back and watch. Like, wow, yeah, I guess, they got away with this. And the year was what, 94. So anyway, and also Walton Goggins is in the movie. He's fantastic. He's had an incredible career. And Michael Ironside is a really good bad guy. So there's a lot to like, but there's a lot to like. Anyway, this is the synopsis from the movie, the actual synopsis. Mr. Miyagi is back and he takes a new pupil under his wing, a troubled adolescent girl. Could have kind of, given me a little bit more there.
It's really only
But-
one sentence.
But
It's
I
a
like Mr.
one-sentence
Miyagi is
synopsis.
back. Like, let's
Yeah.
embrace that.
They should have just like put Mr. Miyagi is back, !
Yeah.
And then carried on.
So this is the not so classic movie, Sal, but why don't you give us a hit list of people who brought it to an existence?
Director Christopher Cain. Writer Robert Mark Kamen. Characters by Mark Lee. Cinematographer Laszlo Kovacs. Cast Pat Morita.
Woo.
Hilary Swank. Michael Ironside. Constance Towers.
Mm.
Chris Conrad. Michael Cavalier. Walton Goggins. Composer Bill Conti. Producer Jerry Weintraub.
So you got some of the big players there. You have Weintraub, Conti,
Yeah.
of course, Morita, Kamen. Characters didn't write the script. He's not taking any credit for that. But and of course Goggins and others. Constance Towers is really good as her aunt. Yeah, her aunt. The Pierce house. The Pierce house.
Who winds up in Reseda.
Oh, not her aunt, her grandmother. I apologize.
Her grandmother who winds up in Reseda, and we never get to see her.
Her grandmother gets shipped off to Reseda. We never see her again. Yeah, not her aunt. But yeah, so that's it. We do a deep dive. We give respect to the movie when it deserves it. We are more connected to it, and we really truly hope at some point in time this becomes part of Cobra Kai. If you bring Julie in, you've connected the dots. If you don't, it's always this outlier. So, I mean, I'd love to see like Goggins or Cavalier or Ned, or someone show up in it in a random scene, or the love interest with Julie. If you're gonna get Julie or not, but bring in somebody else like a Freddie Fernandez, sprinkle them in. But we've never had any connection at this point in time. But as season 6 is the final season of Cobra Kai, this is the chance. This is that opportunity.
Well, hang on. Here we are going on and on about Julie Pierce. But yeah, what if Michael Ironside pops up?
Oh, there you go. Ironside.
What if Alpha Elite tries to do a hostile takeover of Cobra Kai? Imagine that.
Oh my gosh, let's do it. Ironside was in Top Gun, whatever that means. But you gotta love it.
He was wasn't he in RoboCop too?
Oh, I believe he was.
I thought he was in RoboCop.
So many movies.
Yeah, he's great. Great bad guy.
Anyway, that's all we got. I hope you enjoy this because there is there's a lot to bite off. It's almost 2 hours of fun scene by scene breakdown, and it completes our 4-pack. It's a trilogy with the 4-pack.
No, you know what, Jason? I almost feel like for the listener, for our fans, this is actually, well, I mean, look, we're 115 episodes in versus only 20 something episodes in. So I kind of feel like maybe we might even do a better job, even though we may not love the movie as much, we may do a better job of a scene by scene breakdown of this movie than maybe all the others.
Yeah, well, there you go. Wow. That's a bold statement.
You decide, listeners. You guys decide.
I just looked this up, by the way.
Yeah.
Michael Ironside was going to be RoboCop, but wasn't.
Whoa. He was going to be Peter Weller's character.
That's what I thought. I quickly looked this up, so we'll have to do a deep dive on that.
That would be interesting because he's a good guy. RoboCop's a good guy officially.
Exactly. Uphold the law, protect the innocent. Yep. So, without further ado, please enjoy
The Next Karate Kid.
So, thank you so much for listening, and please be sure to subscribe to the Let's Talk Cobra Kai podcast and the Let's Talk Cobra Kai YouTube live channel. You can also really help us by giving the show a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast.
And for all you listeners that enjoy sharing your thoughts, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, send us a direct message, or post a comment on any Let's Talk Cobra Kai social media platform.
We also highly recommend checking out our other podcast and visiting justcuriousmedia.com.
No mercy.
Great job.